Hello everyone, I hope you're having a great day. Thanks for joining me. Now today I'm starting a new series that's going to be called The Holiday Head Start. And to start it off, my very first card, we're going to make a project using this stamp set from the new release for July 2018 from Stampendous. This is called the Snowman Cardinals. It's a stamp and die set and it's so cute. I thought it'd be fun to make a little snowman scene. This set does come with 3 coordinating dies that will cut out your images. And the nice thing about these dies is they cut right to the line. So it's great for scene building. So I'm going to just grab the snowman. We're going to grab the little pine trees and then also a little snowbank with a cardinal on it. And we're going to do some stamping. So I grabbed my stamp platform and I also grabbed a C&CT XL watercolor cardstock. I placed that in there and I'm inking up my images with some VersaFine Onyx Black ink. After we get that done, I thought we'd add a little bit of sparkle, so I'm going to be using some embossing powder by Nuvo. This is called Shimmering Pearl. I'm just going to go over the top of that and we'll go ahead and melt it. Now I'm going to color in my images with my Copic markers. I'll play a little bit of music while I color and I will catch you back as soon as I'm done coloring. Okay, coloring is all done, and now I'm just going to take the coordinating dies and cut out all my images. I used some bright bold colors for this, and I thought it would look really fun against the snowy background. Once we have all of our images die cut out, I thought it would be neat to pull out my Marvy snow pen. Now, if you don't know what a Marvy snow pen is, it is so neat. It's a snow marker, actually, but I'll leave links below to where you can find it. But this is a holiday staple in my card making, but I love to add the snow marker to any kind of snowbank or any kind of wherever I want a snow effect. Now all you do is place it on your project and then you use your heat gun to melt it and it puffies up. Really neat. The camera's really not picking up the three-dimensional effect that it gives, but that's my favorite for snow effects. I think you'll be able to see it a little bit better on my trees here, but I did my snowman also. All you do is place it on your project and then use your heat gun and melt it and it just fluffs up. I love this. There you can see a little bit of the dimension. But I did that to all 3 of my elements. Now with the snow marker, when it does puffy up, you have to be real careful because if you pick it up and smush it, it will go flat. So you want to keep the little dimension. I think after time when it dries, it stays fluffier a lot easier, if that makes sense. Okay, I have a piece of C&CT XL watercolor cardstock again, and I'm going to create a frame. So using my stitched rectangle dies, I'm going to just grab two different sizes, layer them together to create my frame, and I'll run that through my die cut machine. I'm going to flip it over, add some 3M foam tape right behind it. This is going to give my scene a little bit of dimension, almost like a little window box effect. Now we'll set that aside and work on our background. I'm going to work directly on my card base. My card base today is a top folding A2 size card base. It's made with Neenah Desert Storm 100 pound cardstock. It's a craft cardstock. And we're going to do some more stamping. In the stamp set there's some snowflakes, and then I'm going to stamp also the sentiment. I'm just going to stamp it with my Versamark ink. I kind of wanted the background to be a little bit subtle, a little bit different. So ink up my sentiment using my frame as a guide. I'll stamp that first. And then we're going to go in with our snowflakes. Just kind of twisting and turning it so they're not all in a uniform pattern, just kind of a little bit scattered. Once we have our snowflake stamped, we're going to go ahead and heat emboss it with the same embossing powder called Shimmering Pearl that we used for our images. If you guys are interested in any of the products I use for my Holiday Head Start series, I'll leave links in the description area, and I'll also leave a video at the very end for more details on products that I use with the July 2018 Stampendous catalog. But thank you, Stampendous. These products are fantastic and I love them. Okay, we have that melted. Now we're going to work on our background. We're going to work directly on our card base. So I took some Post-it tape and I'm just going to go around the edges of my frame. Now they weren't straight. They were just kind of wonky. I just want to make sure that I didn't get the edges. But I'm going over the center of my card base with my distress ink. This is Picket pens. Now originally I was just going to go around the edges, but then I decided I'm going to go around the entire background. And this is going to soften that craft cardstock. Now to create a little bit more of a snowy effect, I'm going to take some acrylic paint. This is just cheapy acrylic paint you could pick up for, I believe, 99 cents at Walmart. But I dabbed a little bit on my glass mat. I'm going to add a little bit of water. I'm going to thin it out with my paintbrush. And then I'm going to do a little bit of splattering in my background. I did use my heat gun to speed up the drying process. And then I took my white gel pen and I'm filling in my little snowflakes. Now we're going to go ahead and add our frame. So we'll just remove the release paper and place that in the center of our card base. Now the center piece that we cut out of our frame, I kept. I actually used my scissors and created like a little snowbank, and I am going to actually later on put that in the very bottom of this frame, just to give it more of a whole look. But I'm kind of going to arrange my little scene on the front of my panel, and you can see that craft cardstock behind there on the bottom. It was showing, and I thought if I added a piece of the Canson watercolor cardstock, it would just flow a little bit better. But I popped everything up with foam tape, placed it on my panel. Now for a little added dimension, I'm going to go in with some Nuvo crystal drops. These are simply white. I'm going to add a few little dots of white here and there, and then I'll sparkle it up with my Wink of Stella shimmer pen. But that's my card for today, guys. My Holiday Head Start series, card number 1. I hope you liked it. Thank you again, Stampendous. I wish you guys a fantastic day, and we will see you again soon. Bye-bye.